This is my biggest fail that I've ever had, and I don't know what to do. Floorman made it back safely from Void Star Labs, so unfortunately no Zach today, but if you did miss that episode, Cartoots, you guys can take a look. There are two main fails this week. One is my own, and you know what? Let's just start with it. This is one of our recording SSDs, an Intel DC-S3610 series 1.6 terabyte enterprise grade SSD. We record to these when we film. Primarily, I actually use the Intel ones as backup media for when we finish the day, we dump all of our footage onto one of these, and then we go back with clean media. Because often, I'm filming to this. A PM863A 1.92 terabyte Samsung enterprise grade SSD. It's a fail because this is dead. This is what the inside of an enterprise grade SSD looks like, and I could really use your all's help. This one, which was our primary drive for the trip, did fail. It does not show up. It does not show up in the BIOS. It doesn't show up on disk management. It doesn't show up anywhere. When we had gotten back from Colorado, I went to go ahead and back everything up to one of our main NAS drives here at the shop, and it showed up as a protected partition, which is not good. Unfortunately, what we didn't know is we only had one shot.
One opportunity.
We didn't know that, so I went to plug it back in, never showed up again. So the data on it is stuck on it. There is about a day and a half worth of footage on this that we don't have backed up. That includes interviews with Raze 3D and a couple of others, as well as all of the vertical footage that we took for short form content with this Osmo Action 5 Pro. This was not backed up, and we even tried to do data recovery from the drive in this camera. That data is missing from the data recovery software, so we don't know what the heck is going on. Suffice to say, we've lost some data. And you never think it's going to happen to you until it actually does. We have really good backup protocols here. I literally carry multiple clones of the same drive. These are all 1.6 terabyte. I was running so ragged, I never had the time, because every time that we went back to go to the hotel or whatever, I had to dump the data and then go to sleep. So unfortunately, me deciding that I needed sleep meant that when we had this drive failure, we don't have the data. So I need your all's help. I need to contact somebody in the data recovery world. I'm sure there are YouTubers out there that do it. If you know them, please send them this video. I need their help. We have multiple donor drives. I would like to be able to recover this data, but I know data recovery is crazy expensive. And yes, I've already hit this with a thermal camera. This is what it looks like. Everything looks like it's fine. The controller's getting a little bit warm, which is what you expect, especially when the controller has a thermal pad to the cast metal exterior case of this SSD. But it still doesn't show up. It could be something really easy, or it could be something really, really bad. I don't know, and it is well outside of my zone. So I need your help. This is my biggest fail that I've ever had, and I don't know what to do. Quite frankly, I'm like so stressed out, like halfway to tears because of all the effort that we went through for this footage to see it just go away because I decided I wanted to sleep kills me. It just absolutely kills me. So I could really use some help from you guys. If any of you know anybody in the data recovery world, please have them get in touch with me. This is my email. Please have them email me. But I'm working on a very limited budget. As it was, that trip was not paid for. We had no sponsors. There was a lot of money spent to make that trip possible, and now to have data loss makes this even harder. And so that's where I also say we clearly need a better solution. This is not the first time it will happen to someone, and it is absolutely not the last time that it will happen. We've been looking at different cloud-based solutions. We tried Internext, which uses a like Google Drive, but they limit 40 gig uploads and 40 gig downloads, and it's a pain in the ass. Internext, I'm tagging you in this. If you're watching this, please reach out. I'd love to find a way to remove those actual limitations on our drive, because that would have likely kept all of this from happening. The limitations from Internext, which was going to be our offsite backup system, kept me from easily being able to upload data, because I was focusing on dealing with the offsite backup rather than dealing with a secondary backup that I carried on me. If you have 2 backups of the data on you and something happens to you, doesn't matter how many backups you have. They are useless if all of them are in the same location. So we were doing the offsite backup. The problem is we ran into those upload and download limits, which has made getting data up to that cloud a problem and data back down from it a problem. There are a couple of like battery powered NAS based solutions. I'm interested in any that you all might know. If you can think of any, please put them down in the comments. Even if they're DIY, I am not against a DIY solution. We need to be secure, we need to be safe, and we need to have backups. So if you have any solutions, please let us know, because data loss sucks. I've never had data loss on an SSD before. This is my first time. Yes, first time. Maybe you are in the world of like really odd, unique items, like a battery-powered SSD that somehow has a RAID system associated with it. I don't want to deal with spinning rust, just because of the shock issues. We want to have solid-state drives. I am well aware of the cost of SSD media right now. We will do what we can. We thankfully have a few more of the Samsung drives, but I could use some help right now because things are not going very well. And I don't like admitting that, because I'm supposed to be the expert that knows what he's doing all the time. And suffice to say, this just isn't good, and leaving a like would help out a ton. And hey, if you have any comments or thoughts on this, it would be greatly appreciated. But what else isn't good is a post that has resonated with me way more than many of you could ever guess. It is since deleted, but we have recovered the images from it. Hilariously, we did that a lot easier. We were able to get data recovery from our own drives. Anyways, yes, I work at a depowdering room in a 3D printing facility. The room is enclosed and poorly ventilated. The first 10 months, they didn't even really tell me to wear a respirator. I know I have this crap in my body. What do I do? Please help. Before I show you the photos, please note, the photos that we were able to get were very low resolution. We have tossed them into an upscaler, so you might see some artifacting from the AI, whatever, upscaling stuff, so bear with me there, but I think you're gonna get the gist, even though you might not be able to like read the names of things perfectly. See, there's powder everywhere, and I've worked around powder-based 3D printers for many years, and I can tell you as someone that actually went through health problems from a powder-based 3D printer, holy shit, you are in a really bad dude, contact your local labor law everything. Buddy, you've got a crazy lawsuit. 1, a powder facility should never be this messy. Like, guys, get a freaking Roomba. Get something to keep the effing floors clean. Like, come on, if your floors are this dirty, I don't expect your parts to be any better. You know, sure, you got the big speaker there so people can be listening to the tunes. Look at all this friggin' dust, man. This is ridiculous. It's all PA12 nylon for what we can see in the photos themselves, but you should never have a shop environment like this. I've been into multiple facilities that operate powder, including Bondtech. We'll card to our tour of Bondtech so you guys can see it. They had a pristine facility. Yes, there was a little bit of dust here and there in the powder room, but that's gonna happen. There's really no way to deal with small amounts of powder. It happens. This is just somebody not sweeping the damn floors. This is just pure negligence. And if you've been working in here for 10 months without a respirator, brother, you've got a huge, huge problem. The thing that we have to worry about is called flock worker's lung. It's not what I had. So I was working around gypsum-based powder machines. I didn't know any better. And 3D Systems, the company that sold these machines, told you that you really didn't have to worry about the gypsum powder. Turns out you did, because it cakes into your lungs. And when you go to get just a routine check, because like you're coughing a lot, you kind of got like symptoms of bronchitis, and the doctor asks if you've been smoking, and you tell them no, because you don't smoke, and they call you a liar because you have the lungs of someone that has smoked for over a decade, it's time to sit down and have a kind of come to Jesus moment on that and say, oh, something's not right. But I got lucky in that after taking a bit of a sabbatical from working on those machines, about 3 months, some lung butter, I'm great. I have no long-term issues. My lung capacity is great again. And actually, I haven't had symptoms like that since that time. So I'm okay. But that was gypsum, a material that is a little bit nicer to you than frigging nylon. And we can see there are 738 comments. And everyone says, yeah, you need occupational medicine doctor ASAP and a lawyer. We can see here that user JKLOLFFGG said this facility is in desperate need of an engineered, code-compliant industrial dust collection system. First step is for your company to engage a consultant to do a quick dust hazardous assessment. It's going to be bad. You have a dust hazard. In the meantime, there are mobile dust collection systems that can be rented or purchased. Think vacuum on roller cart, but with fancy static mitigation devices and sensors so you don't spark dust and blow up the building. That amount of dust accumulation, doing nothing is not an option. I agree. Doing nothing is not an option. I don't want to beat around the bush here. Sub 1 micron nylon powder will slowly poison you. Many people do jobs where they don't know any better, where they should have done something different, and they get hurt. We know that fine particulates in your lungs equals danger, Will Robinson.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
So as part of PrintFix Friday, we normally say, what can be done here? I say lawyer the F up and take care of this the old-fashioned way. But what can you do in the meantime? Well, you need an air scrubber. Ideally, you would have a mask and or a PAPR or some sort of supplemental air system, right? A PAPR would be ideal, but they're very expensive, so I get it. HP themselves, minimally, recommend an N95 mask, something to keep the fine particulate out. Go get a respirator, a standard dual canister respirator. Then you look cool. I don't see how a professional facility could have floors that look like this. I totally get if there's dust on the countertops, but dude, that's been there for a minute. And look, I'm not one to talk. My floor's not very clean right now. We just got done with a really big project, and I haven't cleaned up the floors yet. But at least my floors are an inhalation risk. Might be a tripping hazard, but I'm the only one that's here. Please wear a mask. If your employer doesn't provide one to you, dude, go buy one. I would highly recommend one with interchangeable filters because then you just don't throw them away. If you need help, go find a place that can help you get it fitted properly. Your other coworkers need to know the problems that exist here and need to understand the risks that they are undertaking. As someone who's dealt with this before, it can be dangerous. And when you're talking about powder that's on the floor, there can also be powder in the air. An aerosolized powder of pretty much any type is an explosion hazard, right? The Mythbusters literally did this with sawdust. And for powder to get on the floor like this, that means at one point or another, it was in the air. Or your cake systems, and that is your system for handling the SLS nylon powder pucks that come out of the machine, are either leaking really badly, or you have a huge issue with air quality in that room. There are plenty of ways to mitigate it, but I agree, we are at the level of needing a professional. If you work around powders, I'm sure you're already typing up a huge comment. I want you to put that comment. Put that comment down below. I want to know, if you work around powders, how does your employer handle it? And do you believe that is adequate? And what could they do as a stopgap until a real good procedure was put in? Dust collectors for your normal workshop are probably not a bad idea. Air scrubbers, absolutely not a bad idea. And they're not even expensive. I have your Reddit username. We've reached out to you. I would like to help out how I can. If that means we, help you get in contact with the right authorities, we help try to talk some sense into your employer, whatever it is, we're happy to do it. Does not need to be on camera. Please reach out. As someone who's dealt with the health hazards that come with powder, and it wasn't even a nylon powder, it was something that thankfully my body was able to deal with, I want to be able to help you. We've always talked about safety being a huge concern here. And this is one of those times where I'd rather do a PSA. If there's one person that comes out of this video that learned something from it, damn it, I did it right. And since it is my video anyways, I have a couple of things I want to say. One, huge happy birthday to my dad. His birthday was yesterday. I'm not going to give out his age. He'd probably get mad at me for that. But yesterday was also technically his last day of work. My dad, as of today, is officially retired. And that is pretty damn cool. If you want to meet my dad, learn about him, and hear his story, well, card to one of the most recent Father's Day episodes. My dad has had a really stellar career, including winning the Jim Scott Award, which is one of the highest accolades in higher education. Like, it's a big effing deal. And he's finally saying, I'm a head out. And I'm so proud of him. He does want me to get him a signature oak. We currently don't have signature oak money, but Prussia, I'm just saying, my dad wants one. Can we work together on that? But really, I'm proud of him, and now my parents are both retired. And so maybe, just maybe, that means in the future, when you see me at shows, they might be there too. They haven't traveled a lot, and I'd like them to start traveling more. Where else better to travel than when I'm going to shows? They can go tool around where we're going, and then they can go on a vacation for a bit. If you did listen and watch this far, please wish my dad not only a happy birthday, but do congratulate him on retiring. I could not be more proud. I mean, as an entrepreneur, being able to retire is something that feels so far outside of my realm of possibility, and to see him be able to retire, dude, it feels so good. Please do congratulate him in those comments below. But that is all we have for you all today. If you made it this far, please leave a like and get subscribed. But stay safe out there. Don't forget to call your loved ones. Don't breathe in powder. Just damn. And as always, keep making awesome. For the 242nd time. See you later.